Good morning. Private Mack and
Lieutenant Dolifka.
we're part of Texas Parks and Wildlife's Buffalo Soldiers Heritage and Outreach Department, and today we're going to get you hooked on fishing. But first, the lieutenant has something he would like to talk to you about.
All right, so we are from the Texas Parks and Wildlife's Buffalo Soldiers Heritage and Outreach Program. You see, the Buffalo Soldiers were your very first professional African-American soldiers in the United States Army. They were commanded by white officers, but they were all sent west to fight in the frontiers wars against the Native Americans, and they also helped protect the settlers, and they also built the infrastructure that's helped civilize the West. They were sent out at different forts all across Texas, and one of which was Fort Concho, and we'll talk about Fort Concho in a little bit.
Thank you, sir. See, today we fish for sport, but back in our time, fishing was life. Fishing was food. Today in Texas waters, you can do both. You can fish for food, or you can fish for sports, but don't overfish. We want to save this for the next generations coming. So today we're going to get you hooked on the frontier. Now, when I go out and we program, which we program all over the state of Texas, one of the questions I ask when I ask these students and people if they've been fishing is that it's too expensive. Can you believe that?
Too expensive?
Too
What are
expensive.
they talking about?
Back in our day, we didn't have all this fancy gadgets, rods, reels, lures. We fished with cane, or what we now call bamboo. Wasn't a whole lot. This could be somewhere from 10 feet to 30 feet long, depending on your preference. All you would need is string, which of course we're using not the correct string, but something that you can see, a hook, and yourself. Oh, and maybe a net. So today we're going to get you hooked on fishing. Cane pole fishing, that is.
Oh, nice.
Now, fishing, or if you've ever been to one of our programs, you'll see that we have, which is the bow cast, where you pull back on the,
Wow,
the
that's a
fish
flexible
and you let this
pole.
thing go. But the problem is, if you're out there on the lake, if you're out there on the river, you're gonna actually have a hook on there and not a plastic fish. And you can probably stick your hand on the hook. What you would normally do if you were gonna use a cane pole fishing out there is you're gonna let out. And as you can see, we've got this string wrapped around these poles. And this is wrapped around here for one major reason. If you catch the big one and your pole should break, you still have this wrapped around the pole where he's not going anywhere. He's not getting away. Now, what you would do is let out just enough of this, anywhere from 10 feet or 5 feet of string. And then you take that, and all you would do is just put it into the water. Now, one of the questions I get is, well, Private Mack, is this strong enough to hold the big one? Can you believe they asked me that, sir?
You saw it flex, didn't you? Of course it is.
This is definitely gonna handle the big one. Now, you can get this bamboo about anywhere in Central Texas. But if you're going in your neighbor's yard to get it, make sure you get permission first. Now, you wanna get it green. Now, is it strong enough to catch that big one? Oh yeah. I've seen people catch carp, bass, catfish, and then
Trout.
if you're just after the smaller fish, the perch, the sunfish, yeah,
Bluegill.
it'll do the smaller ones too. This is a very versatile tool for fishing. So, Lieutenant, I hear tell that the soldiers at Fort Concho used to do a little fishing.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Would you like to tell them a little bit about that?
Have you been out to Fort Concho? You should go out there. Fort Concho is in San Angelo, Texas, and it's now it's an all preserved fort, but you can go out there and visit it. So the soldiers, when they were out there, that river, Concho River, was less than a mile away from that fort. And we have reports from the officers and also the ladies who take better journals than us soldiers did and talk about going down there and fishing all the time. That was one of the biggest pastimes of Fort Concho.
Thank you, sir. See, one of the other things that they tell me is it's not just the equipment that's expensive when it comes to fishing. It's also having to get a license. Well,
A license?
yeah, a license.
But what if you're at a state park?
That's a good question, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're in a state park, as long as you're on state park property, you don't need a license. That's right. You don't need a license. So much for it being expensive. So right now, I've got my cane, I've got my string, and I've got my hook. My license, I don't need. Only thing you're gonna need to do is maybe get mom and dad to take you out. But if you come to and get a license at Texas Parks and Wildlife, we do have other goodies that we can share with you. So, here on this table, you can see we have charts that talks about the saltwater fish and the freshwater fish that were in Texas.
And even pocket guides for saltwater and freshwater.
We have an angler ed instruction programs. There's also boaters education programs here at Texas Parks and Wildlife.
And there's these fun Texas Take Me Fishing guides for the beginner angler. Perfect for a young type.
And it's
learning to
also
fish.
bilingual, so you can get that in Spanish too. Now, one of the other things, not all fish that you catch in any waters in Texas you can keep. How do you know which fish are safe to take home and not get in trouble? Sir, would you like to tell them?
Oh, there's lots of different guides that help you. And right here is a fancy ruler, and it has the measurements of all the fish that are legal to catch. And if it's not legal, then you have to throw it back, called catch and release. So they have all the main types of fish, and they show all those different things. And there's more publications beside this neat little fancy ruler that'll help you learn all that stuff. Now, back in our day, in the soldiers' day, they didn't have to worry about that stuff because this was just trying to help them have fun out there and relax when they're off from being a soldier, but also trying to feed their families. But nowadays, we have lots of people that are here in Texas, and we need to preserve this resource. So that's why we have limits on the fish now.
Thank you, sir. Now, another thing that I hear is, ew, I gotta catch or touch a worm or a bug and put it on the hook. The beauty of using a cane pole is you can use all the things you use nowadays. You can use your bob, and this is the modern day equivalent of the one that we used back then. And both of these work on a cane pole. You can put lead weights on there to keep your hook down in the water. You can use from the smaller ones all the way up to the bigger ones. And your hooks, you'll find that your hook isn't much different than the hook that we used back in the day. They both work. And then if you are squeamish and picking up one of those squiggly worms, well, you can also attach a lure to it. Kind of like this one here. Kind of looks like a worm, doesn't it?
You could even just use a hot dog, part of a hot dog.
Yeah.
Then everybody likes hot dogs, so that shouldn't be too bad.
So you could take a bite and put a bite on your hook. So with that being said, did you have anything else you want to add on this cane pole fishing?
No, I think we're good. I think just make sure you get out there and have fun. That's what it's all about.
Well, we're really sad that Kid Fish is going to be canceled this year, but this is our way of contributing so you can still experience some of Kid Fish here at Texas Parks and Wildlife. And with that being said, Private Mack and
Lieutenant Dolifka.
we're out. You have a great day.